rolling expansions, torrential rain, and a new unmatched world. Hello, I'm Matthew here on What You Played, and this is your board game news. First up this week, oh gosh, it's Christmas. To start off, we have two new games in the Cascadia line coming from Flat Out Games, Cascadia Rolling Hills and Rolling Rivers. Both of these roll and writes, play 1 to 4 players, and will be out next year. Based on the 2022 Spiel des Jahres winner, Cascadia, these new games are both described as puzzly, flip and roll and write games, featuring the habitat and wildlife of the Pacific Northwest, where you'll need to simultaneously roll dice, collect wildlife, and complete habitat cards to fill in different environments. There are also special actions in each that allow you to manipulate your dice as you attempt to activate what they are calling dynamic completion cards that unlock powerful combos. If you get both versions of these rolling games, the player count can expand to 8 people. There's 4 unique environment sheets based on different regions of Cascadia, each with their own gameplay elements, and 30 habitat cards to use in the game. And they both have a unique mini expansion included. There's not really too much out there yet about how the game plays or how they are different from each other, but I know a lot of people will be very excited for more Cascadia. And the excitement continues to build as we find ourselves with our first sponsor who helped make this episode possible, Priorities from Cleverton Games. Priorities is a party game finding the truth among bizarre choices. Discover the truth about your friends and family and yourself. Start by ranking 5 random items from best to worst, from love to loathe, such as Saturn's rings, nose piercings, poached salmon, lava rocks, and Carmen Sandiego. Lock in your answers because then the other players work together to predict the order you've ranked these items. It's everyone, both families or adults, versus the game as you try to determine your priorities. Follow the link in this video's description to find Priorities, which is available now at Target stores near you. Pick it up and make playing Priorities a priority at your next gaming get-together. Have you ever wondered if Geralt of Rivia could beat a Sasquatch in one-on-one hand-to-hand combat? Well, you finally can find out as The Witcher is joining the ranks of Restoration Games' perennially successful asymmetrical miniature fighting game, Unmatched. There will be 2 sets, one titled Steel and Silver, the other is called Realms Fall, and each will include 3 playable hero decks and 2 unique battlefields. In addition to the White Wolf himself, that's The Witcher, that's what he likes to be called, you'll be able to play as Ciri, as her destiny is the Lady of Space and Time, as you race across the battlements of Kaer Morhen to stalk your foe. In our ongoing mission to bring the most exciting worlds to the Unmatched line, we went after this license like, well, a witcher on the trail of a fearsome foe, said Justin T. Jacobson, president of Restoration Games. The Witcher brings so much to the game, a rich fantasy setting, unique heroes, and some of the best villains Unmatched has ever seen. If you're unfamiliar with Unmatched, each hero is represented by a unique deck designed to evoke their style and legend. Tactical, movement, and no-luck combat resolution create a play experience that rewards expertise, and you'll be able to become experts in these 2 new sets, which are currently slated for release later in 2024. Another very hot game getting expanded is Heat, which is being cooled down by torrential rain, which is the most newscastery sentence I've ever written. Heat is Days of Wonder's latest hit racing game that puts players in the driver's seat of intense car races, jockeying for position to cross the finish line first, while managing their car's speed so they don't really want to overheat them. And torrential rain was accidentally leaked by Asmodee Spain. Some Spanish retailer sites had it up, but they have since taken the information down. But we do have some speculation that we can gather from the boxes. And we know that it's probably coming out in February next year. The expansion allegedly includes 2 new circuits, one set in Japan, the other in Mexico, both with lots of rain, which I'm sure will bring new challenges to this deck manipulation racing game for 1 to possibly 7 players, maybe, allegedly. There was also a new player colour shown. I'm sure we will know a lot more about this when it's officially released soon. Steamforged Games are revisiting the world of Dark Souls, this via their press release. Introducing Dark Souls, the board game, The Sunless City, a cooperative dungeon crawl board game for 1 to 3 players. 6 years on, this new core game reimagines the original Dark Souls, the board game experience, with refreshed rules driven by community feedback, including a new campaign and encounter system. So whereas the original board game included a selection of bosses and locations from the Dark Souls universe, the Sunless City focuses on the very first Dark Souls video game to deliver an immersive tabletop experience. So that's very interesting to me, that a new version of the game that is fueled by community feedback, that sounds cool. You can play as a herald, a pyromancer, or a warrior as you navigate the haunted ruins of the Sunless City, with the ultimate challenge being a brutal battle against the demon slayer Ornstein and the fearsome executioner Smaug. I'm going with Smaug. And while I couldn't see a release date, the pre-orders are open, so I'm assuming sometime next year. For more fantastical combat, you need look no further than Ironwood, coming from Mindclash Games. Mindclash Games are normally known for big, thinky brain melters like Tricarion and Anachrony, but this is going to be the second game in their Mindclash Play sub-brand, established to bring clever and thematic gameplay at a smaller and more accessible scale, and the first of which of these was Astra. An eternal conflict for the land of Ironwood is raging between two factions: the stalwart and hard-working ironclad settlers of the Iron Mountains and the ferocious woodwalkers, swift and deadly shadows of the forest. Both factions just get along. Both factions struggle for the ultimate control over the land, for its greatest treasure, the Larimore crystals, a mysterious substance holding immense energy within. It can be found both inside the colossal mountains and shattered across the dense forests. So Ironwood is being pitched as a rules-light, highly asymmetric, card-driven tactical game for 1 or 2 players, where each round you and your opponent alternate playing faction-specific cards for their effects. These things are like positioning your warbands, initiating combat, extracting crystals, and bestowing temporary passive effects, among others. And we are told that the two factions are completely asymmetrical in their playstyle, their decks, and even victory conditions. So this looks pretty cool to me. There's a low upkeep solo mode, which is exciting, and Ironwood is going straight to retail sometime next year. Nucleum was a pretty big hit from Board and Dice this year, a 1 to 4 player heavy Euro game. That's their words, that's how they describe it, in which players take the role of industrialists trying to succeed during the economic and technological boom of the 19th century Saxony, which is fueled by the invention and spread of the Nucleum. And people were pretty excited to find that there's already an expansion that's been announced, Nucleum Australia, which comes with a new map and introduces several new concepts to the original game. Now you can use your shipping lanes to expand your networks, build your own coal mines, and try something called the expert variant with bidding for the experiments. So you can look forward to that next year. But now let's check in with the latest games available to play online in this segment, sponsored by Board Game Arena, starting with PAX Premier. Players, 19th century Afghan leaders, forge a new state out of the collapse of the Durrani Empire. Western histories often call this period the Great Game because of the role played by Europeans who attempted to use Central Asia as a theatre for their own rivalries. And other recent releases include Dog Park, where dog walkers earn reputation by exercising their canine companions in parks and kennels, and Biomus, a family game where players embody a planet. Follow the links in this video's description to learn and play these and hundreds of other board games online at Board Game Arena. Horizon Games are bringing us Natura New Beginnings for 2 to 4 players and coming to Kickstarter next year. A game where you play as a sentient and intelligent animal tribe exploring and controlling areas abandoned in a bright post-humanity world. With the help of your unique tribe leader and your explorers, you will explore, build authority, and take control of 4 distinct areas, all to unlock new and more powerful tiles that allow you to establish settlements to further cement your presence. Doing all that will help you understand that strange human science for bonuses on a tech tree, and I do like tech trees. Emperor S4 have announced Shadow House The Code, where after a series of extraordinary events, Viscount Shadow met an untimely demise. With no designated successor, the family recalled the existence of the Viscount's will, securely stored in a safe. The challenge, however, lies in the fact that nobody possesses the complete password to access the safe. The Viscount, known for his love of solving mysteries, has though scattered clues throughout the mansion. So in this one, players assume the role of detectives invited to the Shadow Viscount's mansion to uncover clues that will unlock the safe. You'll need to interact with your opponents, posing questions to extract additional clues to the ones you begin with as you work towards deducing the final conclusion. Shadow House is being described as a deduction game that also carries a lively party game atmosphere. That kind of party atmosphere makes me interested in it, so I'm looking forward to its wider release. Apparently, if you're in Japan, you're in luck because you can just buy it now. And Allplay have announced River Valley Glassworks, a tile placement game for 1 to 5 players from design team Adam Hill, Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle, and that's a team I'm always interested in. Welcome to River Valley, a place where the beautiful pieces of glass that can be found along the river have attracted the most entrepreneurial of woodland creatures to set up shop. You'll play as one of these pioneers, drafting glass for the market of river tiles, but once you've picked up your glass, the river shifts forward, revealing new pieces and new opportunities. It's then time to store the glass strategically in your shop, where depending on how they're placed, your score will drastically change as you attempt to fill in the rows and columns to gain bonus points. This looks charming and puzzly, two things the board game world seems to just really enjoy. I'm pretty excited about this one coming sometime, as again, next year. And that's your board game news. Thank you so much for joining me for this year's worth of board game news. I can't wait to see what's coming next year, and this will be the place to find out. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.